exercises. First, what we do is drop all thinkings, drop whatever thoughts you have. And not only that, also drop the thinker, the person that's thinking. And we'll start with adjusting the body. If you are sitting on a chair, try to keep both the sole of the feet on the ground, parallel to each other. If you are sitting on a cushion or floor, try to keep both the knees and the buttock, the 3 points on the floor or cushion. Keep the back straight but relax. Drop the 2 shoulders, totally relax. The hands, you can put one on top of the other, either way, on the hips or on the knees, facing up or down, as long as it's comfortable. Imagine that there's a string tying the head up to the ceiling so that the head don't drop down. You may choose to close or half close or open the eyes, up to you. If you are sleepy, please open the eyes. If you are restless, maybe close or half close the eyes. The important thing is make the body comfortable but alert. Now that we have adjusted the body, you adjust the mind. Bring the mind to the present moment, to be here, to be now. Ask yourself, are you here? Drop all memories of the past, all plans for the future. Drop means don't pay attention. You can always pick them up later. Just stay in the here and now. From the present moment, from the here and now, put your attention on the breath. Just aware of the breath as it goes in, aware of the breath as it goes out. Just know the breath as much as you can. Breathing in, you know you're breathing in. Breathing out, you know you're breathing out. If there are wandering thoughts, don't try to control the thoughts. Don't try to push it away. Just aware of the thoughts as it comes in. Just aware of the thoughts at the background. Don't pay attention to them. Put your attention on the breath as it goes in, as it goes out. Don't have to do anything with the thoughts. Just keep your attention on the breath. But do not control the breath. Don't have to make it clear. If it's 1% clear, let it be. If it's 2%, let it be. Breathing in, we know we are breathing in. Breathing out, we know we are breathing out. As you're aware of the breath going in, aware of the breath going out, notice that the breath keeps changing. Sometimes the breath is fast, sometimes slow, sometimes shallow, sometimes deep. sometimes in, sometimes out. The breath keep changing, it's impermanent. Similarly, our body also keep changing, it's impermanent. So we don't have to be afraid if something happened to the body, because it will keep changing. As you're aware of the breath going in, going out, also notice that we have no full control over the breath. We only have a choice on putting attention on the breath. Since we have no full control over the breath, we cannot have just in breath or just out breath. Then the breath is not satisfying fully. That's dukkha. As you continue to be aware of the breath going in, going out, notice that since we can't fully control the breath, we can't claim ownership of the breath. We don't have to have the burden of owning the breath. That's anatta or non-self. There is a breathing process, but there is no permanent fixed breather. As you're aware of the breath going in, going out, notice that the awareness, the knowing of the breath is always calm and peaceful, no matter what happened to the breath. As long as we stay with the awareness, it's always calm and peaceful. As you continue to be aware of the breath, notice that our experience of the breath is dependent on our mental state. Mind more calm, the breath is more calm. Mind more restless, the breath is more restless. Breathing in, we know we are breathing in. Breathing out, we know we are breathing out. From the breath, we'll move to body sensation. Just aware whatever body sensations you might have. Could be the weight of the body on the chair or the cushion, the contact between the body and the chair or the cushion, the hardness of the body, the heat in the body, coldness in the body, just whatever body sensations you might have. Don't have to give it a name, don't have to label it, don't have to change it, just aware of whatever body sensation that arises. As you're aware of whatever body sensations that arise, notice that every body sensations that you have, The minute it arises, it will cease away. Whether it's coldness, hardness, heat, heaviness, every body sensation that arises immediately will pass away. No body sensations remain continuous. So we don't have to be afraid of any body sensation, because the minute it arises, it will pass away. Because every body sensation is impermanent, anicca. As you continue to be aware of the body sensation, notice that we cannot fully control the body sensation. We can only choose which body sensations to pay attention to. That's dukkha, unsatisfactoriness. As you continue to be aware of the body sensation, notice that since we cannot fully control the body sensation, we can't claim ownership of the body sensation. So it's not my leg that's painful, there's a sharp sensation on the leg. If we don't claim ownership, then we don't have to have the burden of the ownership. So we can have body sensations without suffering. As you continue to be aware of the body sensation, also notice that the awareness, the knowing of the body sensation is always calm and peaceful, no matter what body sensations you might have. As you continue to be aware of the body sensation, notice that our experience of the body sensation is dependent on the mental state. Mind more calm, the body more comfortable. Mind more restless, the body more uncomfortable. From body sensations, we'll move to emotion. Just aware whatever emotions you might have. Could be happiness, sadness, boredom, excitement, or no emotion. That's the type of emotion also. Pay attention to whatever emotions that you might have. Notice that whatever emotions you have, the minute they arise, it will pass away. No emotions remain continuous. Every emotion that arises immediately will cease. New similar emotion might arise again, but it will cease, because emotions are impermanent. So again, we don't have to be afraid of any emotions, and we don't have to stop or fight with any emotion, because the minute it arises, it will pass away. Because every emotion is impermanent, is anicca. As you continue to be aware of the emotions, notice that we have no full control over our emotion. We only have a choice on which emotion to pay attention to. Since we have no full control, it's not fully satisfying, that's dukkha. As you continue to be aware of the emotions, notice that since we can't fully control the emotions, we can't claim ownership of the emotions. So it's not I'm angry, it's there are anger emotions in me. It's not I'm sad, it's there are sad emotions in me. And we don't claim ownership of the emotions, we don't have to have the burden of the ownership. That's anatta or non-self. As you continue to be aware of the emotions, also notice the awareness, the knowing of the emotion is always calm and peaceful, no matter what emotions we have. Also, as you're aware of the emotions, notice that our emotion is also dependent on a mental state. A mind more calm, emotions more calm. Mind more restless, emotion more restless. From emotions, we move to thoughts. Just aware whatever thoughts you have, but don't have to know the content of the thoughts. Just aware as thoughts arise, pass away, new thoughts arise and pass away. If there are no thoughts, that's good. Put your attention on the last place where the thoughts disappear. Otherwise, just aware as thoughts arise and pass away. No thoughts will stay continuous. Similar thoughts might arise when the thought passes away, but no thoughts remain continuous. Because every thought is anicca, impermanent. Seeing this, we don't have to be afraid of any thoughts, and we don't have to fight with any thoughts, because they will disappear by themselves. As you continue to be aware of the thoughts, notice that we have no full control over the thoughts. We only have a choice on which thoughts to pay attention to. Since we have no full control, that's not fully satisfying, that's dukkha. As you continue to be aware of the thoughts, notice that since we cannot fully control the thoughts, we can't claim ownership of the thoughts. So again, we are not angry, we have angry thoughts. We are not sad, we have sad thoughts. We are not upset, we have upset thoughts. If you don't identify with the thoughts, you don't claim ownership of the thoughts, then we don't have the suffering. As you continue to be aware of thoughts, notice that our awareness, knowing of the thoughts, is always calm and peaceful, no matter what thoughts we have. As long as we stay with awareness, our mind is always calm and peaceful. As you continue to be aware of the thoughts, notice that, again, our experience of the thoughts is dependent on the mental state. Mind more calm, the thoughts more calm. Mind more restless, the thoughts more restless. Now just stay with awareness, the knowing. Doesn't matter whether it's knowing of the breath, body sensation, emotion, or thoughts. Just stay with awareness. Feel the calmness, peacefulness of the awareness. Feel the childlike, carefree innocence of the awareness. Allow this natural calm and peace to flow to the whole body, wishing each and every cell in the body to reconnect with this natural peace and calm, to reconnect with childlike, carefree innocence, to be well, happy, healthy, and strong, to be at ease. Continue to allow this good energy to flow out further to our loved ones, family members, relatives, and friends. Wishing each and every single one of them to reconnect with their natural peace and calm, to reconnect with their childlike, carefree innocence, to be well, happy, healthy, and strong, to be at ease. Can visualize a smile in their faces, in their hearts. Continue to allow this good energy to flow out to our neighbors, colleagues, people at work, people at we meet at market, supermarket, people that take care of electricity, water, rubbish. Wishing each and every single person to reconnect their natural peace and calm, to reconnect their childlike, carefree innocence, to be well, happy, healthy, and strong, to be at ease. Continue to allow this good energy to flow out to all humans, regardless of race, religion, nationality, wishing each and every one of them to reconnect their natural peace and calm, to be well, happy, healthy, and strong. Continue to allow this good energy to flow out further to all beings, all animals, all unseen beings, all heavenly beings, all beings without exception, wishing each and every single being to reconnect their natural peace and calm, to reconnect their childlike, carefree innocence, to be well, happy, healthy, and strong. May all beings be well and happy. For the last exercise, just put your awareness back to yourself. If you have difficulty, you can put your attention on a point at the back of your head, but preferably just simply aware of your own self, and also can ask yourself, who am I or what am I? We'll sit for another minute. Slowly aware of your body. If you can slowly feel your body, for those who have closed the eyes, can slowly open the eyes. And you can, if you want, rub your hands to warm up the hands and warm up the face. Okay, any questions or sharing, please do unmute and share, or any maybe something that you see new and fresh, also you can share. So along the way, please do share, because it's two questions that we can explore and learn more. Or you can type in the chat box. Okay. First, I think a few weeks ago, I shared with you all about this psychiatrist called Dr. Bill Patrick, which is now he's 80 over years old. He has been teaching people what I share with you all. Basically, two things. One is we already have this natural, innate mental health. So to him, doesn't matter how crazy the patient is, to him is they are actually mentally healthy. It's just that that patient doesn't know. And the second thing is, whatever we experience is all made out of thoughts. So the patients are crazy, or they're mental depression or schizophrenia and so on, because they believe their thoughts, and the thoughts create their reality or their world. So basically, he just explained this tool to his patients, and surprisingly, he managed to cure a lot of patients. Because I think it's same in Malaysia. I mentioned many times in the field of psychiatry, if someone gone crazy, as in they're either bipolar or schizo or something, they don't usually, the file don't close because they never get cured. It's only they keep taking meditation to reduce their violence. But for Dr. Bill Patrick, he's one of the first psychiatrists that closed files. He cured the patients by just simply explaining to them these two things only. The first one, I want to get you all to feel it immediately. First one is basically we have each and every one of us have mental health. We are actually peaceful, calm inside us. So you can feel it now. Okay, now instead of putting attention outside, put your attention to what's yourself, just aware of your own self. If you're aware of your own self, for most of us, immediately you will feel this calmness, this peacefulness. But if you don't, because you feel a lot of thoughts or a lot of emotion, or you feel maybe annoyed or whatever, don't pay attention to all these emotion or thoughts. Just pay attention to the space, the background where the thoughts arise and pass away. No matter what thoughts or emotions that you have, this space where thoughts come and go, emotions come and go, it's always calm and peaceful. You will feel that it has this quality of spaciousness, unlimitedness, boundarylessness. When you dwell on all this property of spaciousness, boundarylessness, unlimitedness, you will feel that feeling of calm and peace, even though you still have a lot of thoughts or emotions running. You don't have to stop the thoughts and emotion. Just shift your attention to this space. You will feel this calmness and peacefulness. So please, in your daily life, try to familiarize with this innate natural quality of us. This, to me, is very important. Irene, yeah?
Yeah, Bhante, good evening to you. Since
Yeah,
Bhante teach about the space, up to today, I still cannot catch about the space within the thoughts,
Okay, don't catch the space within thought.
No,
Okay,
what I
now,
mean, I couldn't make it, I couldn't apply.
okay, very easy. Now you put your attention back towards yourself. Can you hear me? Don't mute yourself. Put your attention back towards yourself. Can you feel yourself?
Okay, yes.
Okay, now when you feel yourself, what do you feel?
I feel just the external of myself.
Put your attention on your mind. Okay, your
Okay.
awareness. What do you feel?
Blank or nothing.
Yeah, that's good enough. That's the first start. The blank is that spaciousness, not lost in any thoughts.
Oh.
You're trying to look for something. This spaciousness is no form, it's formless. So you're on the right track. But
Okay.
this blank must be not blur blank now. Okay, you're alert, you are here, but there's no thoughts as in blank. Or it can be thoughts, but your focus is not on the thoughts.
Okay, but the background is like dark in color.
Don't worry about the color of the background, but you can feel this feeling of calm and peace when you pay attention to what's your own awareness. If you pay attention back towards yourself, you immediately get this calm and peace. Don't worry about the space and all that first. Okay, if you have only when you have a lot of thoughts, a lot of emotion, then pay attention to the background. You get what I mean?
I couldn't get about how to look in, how to pay attention on the background.
Okay. Pay attention to the space where thoughts come and go.
So far, whenever I wanted to watch on the thoughts, there's none of the thoughts arising.
That's good. That's all you need to do. Because the key thing is once you're not lost in your thoughts, you're fine.
Okay.
Once you pay attention, you say the thoughts are no more, which means that you are in the background already. You are already there.
So I just pay attention on my mind, is it again?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. I want to learn on that part, yes.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. So basically, you just need to know two things. Okay, which this Dr. Bill Pittig keep emphasizing, which is number one, you have innate mental health. Number two, all our experience of the world is created by thoughts. Okay. So Chandima asked, can we share the professor teaching with a person who is diagnosed with bipolar? Actually, quite surprisingly, doesn't matter whichever what problems his patient has, very extreme schizo or bipolar or mental depression or suicidal tendency, he applied the same antidote, which is explained to them that number one, they have innate mental health. Number two, that whatever they experience is a reflection of their thoughts. But basically, whatever they experience is a creation of their thoughts, and they don't have to believe this as a reality. It's not a reality. Whatever they experience is a story made up in their thoughts. And surprisingly, with just these two simple things, and he learned these two from actually a welder. He was quite surprised. Called Sydney Banks. And this welder actually started an organization called Three Principle, which teaches these two. So one other thing he does is quite interesting. Okay. One other thing he does is he will ask his patient to listen to two YouTube videos of this Sydney Banks. Okay. I will put the link here, and then later on I will ask Mihu's help to put it in the Telegram chat group, Friday night Telegram chat group. What's amazing is these two, he just asked people to, each of these is I think 30 minutes long. He just asked people to listen. You only need to listen 16 minutes, okay? And somehow, I think because the speaker, in this case is Sydney Banks, he shared this, I call it truth or how mind works from the space of this spaciousness, this calmness. That means he's shared innate health from innate health. Somehow it influences people incredibly. There's something magical with it, because I quote one case. There's a lot of cases like this, okay, but I just quote one case. There's this lady who has severe mental disorder, check into an asylum, mental hospital, basically, like our Tanjung Rambutan on Friday. Saturday morning, Dr. Bill Patek just asked the lady to listen to these two YouTube video, which I share in the chat group now. And then Monday, she was fine. She was checked out. And they ran a lot of tests on her. She was fine. And then she told this Dr. Bill Patek, says, actually, I'm okay. As not because I want anything, I just want to feed back to you. It has nothing to do with what you tell me. It has all to do with the video they asked me to watch. These two videos only. And she only watched, I think, the first 16 minutes of each video. And she said, but to confess further, actually, I don't understand a word of what the person is saying in the video. But I know it helped me for some reason. Okay. So sometimes things might not be very logical, but I can understand what this person in the video was explaining. Okay. Just to let you know, basically it's explaining that our world is an illusion because it's created by thoughts. And also he says, basically, we already have mental health. If we don't get lost in our thoughts, we are naturally calm and peaceful, and we have no problem in life. Okay, Vincent? You want to unmute? Sorry, Vincent. You're muted.
Oh, okay. How do you, I mean, the first part you say, he explained to the patients 2 points. One is that we have innate mental health.
Of course, he
Okay, now,
explained in many different angles. I only summarizing, just tell you have innate mental health. So he explained this truth using many different angles.
okay, then the second point is how do you tell a person that the problem are all caused by his thoughts when he himself is already what you call immersed in a depression, let's
Oh,
say.
you'll be quite surprised. Also, another case, okay? So what happens is people can catch it. We have, because of this innate wisdom, we can catch it. So he mentioned another case that when he first learned these two, we call it these two truth or Dhamma, he shared it with his colleague. And his colleague, you'll be quite surprised, a lot of psychiatrists and psychologists, they actually have some mental issues. Like his colleague have anxiety problem and a lot of other problems. Somehow the colleague got cured, like solve his problem. But the colleague don't buy that it's because of this. He sort of know that it's from this, but like he can't accept it can be so simple. So somehow sometimes people, you give them the medicine, they get cured, but they think it's nothing to do with the medicine you give them. But anyway, but he suspect there's something to do with it. So he asked Dr. Bhante to come to the asylum. There's a Tanjung Rambutan there to give lecture to all these mental patient twice, I think twice a week. And amongst meditation, there's one who has been there for 47 years and very quiet sitting there. On the third week, suddenly this mental patient keep laughing and laughing and laughing. And laughter is quite contagious. So everyone started laughing, including Dr. Bhante. Until after they calmed down, he asked this patient, what's so funny? And the patient says, I suddenly realized that for 47 years, I have been creating my craziness from believing my thoughts. And suddenly I realized that I don't have to. And he was cured. And of course, you can't release someone immediately from mental patients. So they put him under intensive observation for six months to make sure that he's really cured. And they got to reduce his was on heavy dose of medicine. And he was actually checked out from the mental hospital after 6 months. And then they're still worried, so they monitor him after he left for like 5 years. He was having a wonderful life. He has a good social life, have friends and all that, totally cured, just like this.
Looks like he has reached enlightenment.
You can say enlightenment in the sense that he suddenly saw how the mind works.
Yeah, that's how he saw, yeah.
Yeah, so it can happen, but not everyone, you're right. I'm not saying everyone will get cured. Okay.
Okay.
I'm saying that it can happen. It can be so simple. Okay, so you have a question?
Yes, good evening, Bhante.
Good evening.
Bhante, I share your teaching, as I said last week, with my friend, which is also a psychotherapy with the heights issue. And she understands, and she's also a meditator. She understands what Bhante is sharing, and when she explore, the only question she has is also in the psychology field, right? That a lot of people, even you have that trauma, or you can say it's the event that happened to you, and it's already inside you in the back. Although your mind can tell it's a thought that's or a memory, is a thought. Is impermanent and everything, but her question or her argument is that a lot of those events or trauma is already stored in your body. And a lot of psychiatrists, one of the very famous one in US, where he writes the body keeps the score. So the event already in the body. So a lot of somatic psychotherapy, they will use the modality like somatic, where somehow it's in your body. Even your mind tell you it's just a thought and you don't have to pay attention to the thought, but it's already in your body, and they try to release that type of tension when you face a situation. Just like when we see something, suddenly she remember that height, in her body start to shake, for example. How do you explain that?
This is, see, this is to me very traditional. Okay, let me restate the case of Suk's friend so that everyone knows what's going on. And also, if Sok don't mind, I will read out my discussion with Sok so that at least there's a few points I want to point during my discussion with Sok in WhatsApp about this case. So the case is Sok has a friend who, when she was young, when she was climbing, something like this, okay, the detail to me not so important, but roughly the story is like this. The friend, when she was young, she went up the staircase, then saw an old lady jump down or fall down, basically died from jumping down or fall down from the staircase. And she has this traumatic memory inside her. And then she went on Grand Canyon, which is like very steep down. She have a lot of fear, but managed to overcome the fear because she's a meditator and therapist and all that. But she has this question: does she need to go back? I mean, does she need to untie the knot in the of this trauma? Okay, the knot could be like they call it the body keeps scores. That means there is a memory in the body that does she need to untie it? Okay, so my answer is no. That first thing, I'm just trying. This is not just directed to Sok's friend or Sok. It's also for everyone. Okay, I'm just trying to use this example to show where we could go wrong, where we could subtly get, when I say wrong, as in create suffering for ourselves in a sense. Okay, there's no really right or wrong, but when I say wrong means we don't understand how the mind works. Okay, so what happens is the minute we think that there's a knot, okay, it's already we think there's a solid thing. So this is the first thing we have to. Sok's friend might not think this way, but I'm saying that a lot of us, when we think of knot, we think that it's a solid thing. There is no knot per se, because you cannot show me the knot in the memory like I show you a table or a chair. So this is the first thing we have to remember, because whatever happens in our mind is just thoughts that arise and pass away. It's bubbles. So it's not a thing. And the biggest problem most of us face is we make it into a thing. Okay, I like this American coach. He coined a new word called we thingify it. It's not a thing, then we make it a thing. So we sort of thingify it. So when we equate, sorry, yeah, go ahead.
Can I interrupt real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
When we say the knot, right? It's just a word, but it's not a thing. Understand? But then it's the event. Is the event or the trauma? Is that a thing? If I equate the
event, okay, again, the event and the trauma is not a thing. And anyway, that event is gone. It doesn't exist, because the way we talk is like there is an event that we can refer to. There is no event we can refer to because it's gone forever.
Yes, it's gone. But what she's saying, it was already in her body when she didn't understand what happened at that time.
Let me go to haven't gone to the body yet. That one is a bit more subtle. But before that, okay, some of this, I'm not saying that your friend might have this. I'm saying that where we can go wrong. Because your friend is meditator, normally they won't take it as a real thing. But quite a lot, often when we talk about not, we will think it as thing. Okay, so this in general. Okay, okay. So memory of the past, it's always when we say memory of the past, it's thoughts creating a new event to me. Let's say if you are, let's for this case, you have a trauma in the past. That trauma in the past is gone forever. When you experience it again, it's actually your thoughts recreating a new version of that incident. So you never experience that incident anymore because it's gone totally forever. But your thoughts can create it. Okay, maybe I jump a bit so that what happens is, in order to protect yourself, our mind is very smart. It has this association. So every time we have similar situation, like Green Canyon, there's height, our mind, what happens will automatically, I'm not saying when I say pay attention, don't pay attention. I'm not saying that we can control the thoughts. We can pay attention and not pay attention, but we cannot control the thoughts. So when you say body keeps score, to me, it's not the body can think. is actually what happens is because we have this trauma before, when we reach similar situation, automatically, I'm not saying you can't control, automatically your thoughts will recreate this event, a new version of this event, to warn you so that it protect you. But we don't have to pay attention to this. Our freedom is, if we don't pay attention to this or we don't take it as real, then it can't continue. But we cannot stop it, as in not allow this, I don't know, you can call it body keep score, but I don't like to use the word body keep score because it gives you an idea that there is a thing there. I don't consider it's a thing. I consider more as a habit. Like you get into a car, those who know how to drive, they don't have to think. They can switch the car on and then gear and so on. You don't have to think. It's not thinking. So similarly, when you go into a high place, because the memory is, but it's not a thing. It's the habit, so that automatically there's this fearful thoughts come out. But if you don't pay attention to it, it cannot continue generating fearful thoughts. So you sort of get what I mean? So
yes, Bhante, we totally agree with what you said. And it's just the question is that somehow, as you say, your body is trying to protect you, when that thoughts come where we cannot control.
yeah,
and we choose not to pay attention to it. But the body is himself or herself already shivering, right?
Yeah, the body is shivering. So it's because subconsciously you have fearful thought. You can't see it. But one of the way we can go wrong is we think that the body itself is shivering automatically without the fearful thoughts.
So if the body is shivering at that point, when every time you're in the high situation,
because of your fearful thoughts.
Oh, okay. But if there's no fearful thought, you think
No, you cannot have no fearful thoughts, because the body will send signal to the mind, and the mind will interpret the signal.
Okay.
So now the mind is being habitual to interpret this signal as danger, as a fight or run away. So when it's sent back to them, then the body will send shivering to run away. So it's a communication between, there has to be an interpretation. It doesn't, to me, I don't buy the idea that there is no fearful thoughts, so immediately the body react with shivering. I somehow I don't buy the idea. There is fearful thoughts, but I buy the idea that because it's subconscious, it's beyond control. I agree.
Yes, I agree on that too. But if, as you say, then if you choose not to,
you can choose not to believe this thought that has a reason, and because you don't believe it, you cannot continue creating new one.
Yeah, and then your body will not shiver at that point.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so then, so the thing, the event actually is not stored in your body. It depends on.
Yeah, I don't like this store in your body, because it gives the idea that it's a thing. Yeah. Okay. Anyone has any questions on this? Because to me, this is useful and important, because we always quite often take our thinking, our memory as a thing, as a solid reality. It's not. Or if you think that there is a memory keep in the body, it's also make it a thing. It's not a thing. It's just a habit that, because we have experienced this dangerous situation or traumatic situation, when we face similar situation, the thoughts will come out. And because we believe the thoughts as true, it strengthens the thoughts and it strengthens the habit. But if we keep not believing this thought as true, this habit will slowly die out and the trauma won't come anymore. Of course, it might not be so easy for other people, but it makes it much, much easier if you don't thingify it in any way.
So, Bhante, just a quick follow-up. When you say
Yeah.
you don't, a lot of modality that I learned from, books of friends or listen to YouTube is that there are a lot of modality in psychotherapy like IFS, ACT. They all their purpose is also make the client not believe in the thought. And that when you say not believe in your thought, right? That's really where it will kind of make that event, no longer
But some
affect
modality,
you.
I don't know which modality, but some psychological method is to go back to the incident to release that incident so that the incident don't affect you. This one somehow I don't buy.
Oh, okay. I see what
Because
I mean.
if you
Yeah, a
do
lot
that,
of them, yeah.
to me, then you believe that the incident is real. Why you need to release it if it's not real?
Okay. I think that's the difference between, as you say, a lot of them, they make them go back to kind of have compassion towards the 10-year-old them where the event happened.
This is the key thing I don't buy. And in fact, you'll be quite surprised in the 1970s, 80s, the way the psychologists are taught, this is the taught in psychology school in university, is if two couples, a couple, husband and wife, have quarrel and all that, and very bad quarrel, their solution is get them to talk about why they quarrel, like what they're unhappy about with the husband or happy with the wife, and try to release that. But that makes it worse. And in the end, most of them ended up divorced. Okay, so a lot of the method used in the universities and all that might not. Even Dr. Bill Pettit mentioned that most of the thing that he's learned in universities wasn't helping him until he learned this. They call it 3 principles, that you are naturally healthy, and then your world is created by thoughts. Then his own entire life changes, and the way he treats his patient all changes. But that's not taught in the psychology school in university.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, understood. Yeah, thank you so much, Bhante, for
thanks.
clarify that. Really appreciate it. I think you have a lot of questions now in the chat.
Okay, let me have a look. Okay, thanks. Okay, Y.A. Lim says that there was a case which happened 3 years ago, Melbourne. 3 Christian extremists share a delusional disorder when they open fire on police officer they perceive as demons intent on killing them on the rural Australian property 3 years ago. A coroner found on today. We can understand a person who is delusional, but how to explain 3 people sharing the same delusion? Do they share the same thoughts? They share the same perspective. See, cult has the same delusional idea. Cult can convince all their members to think a certain way because our mind can be programmed. 3%, not exactly the same reality, but similar line of reality. There are still people now who thinks that the earth is actually flat. If you sail to the end, you will drop down. So how can that as this delusional, somehow they believe certain things? Janine, may I know how to spell the doctor's name? Okay, let me type here. Dr. Bill, Billpettit. Dr. Bill Pettit, okay. Irene, the knot may mean to certain people unfinished business over the past years. Yeah, unfinished business still sounds like a thing. I'm trying to break the idea that there's a thing. CK Lee, could it be traumatic? The traumatic thought is stored in the subconscious instead of the body. Please comment. When you talk about stored somewhere, it's still, I want to break the idea that there is a thing there because it's not a thing. And I give this example to soap, which I nearly forgot to tell you all. We treat our memory as a thing also, but our memory is just a story. To break your idea is, there's this famous story that Ajahn Brahm tell, that when he was young, I can't remember whether it's measles or chickenpox, but one of the disease. So when he was young, he's very sure that when he was young, he has measles, okay? And he has one brother, only 2 of them in the family, and he's very sure that his brother don't have, only he has. But his brother is very sure that the brother is very sure he has, not Ajahn Brahm. And the mother is very sure that one of them has. So our memory is very tricky. It's not real. It's our memory is our story about what happened in the past. Okay, and our memory can be keep changing, and sometimes we think when we were young, this guy was my friend. After we think further, no, when you're young, maybe this guy was my enemy. Our memory is not a real fixed thing. Our memory keep changing. So in the sense that our past can keep changing, because our past is just our thinking about what happened in the past. Okay, I'm trying to break the idea that memory past is a solid thing there. It's not. Okay, any other? I just want to see this one before we finish on this. Okay, and on this issue also, Sok's friend might not mean this, but a lot of us might mean this as in, because she says that her friend is very present because she has practiced meditation, but she's still interested to know whether she need to release these knots or not. When you have this idea, I'm still interested whether to release these knots or not, you are still focusing on the problem. One of the biggest realization I have recently is that humans focus too much on what is wrong with me. We don't focus enough on what is right with me. What is right with me is we have innate mental health. If you keep focusing on we are naturally mentally healthy, that will strengthen this. Like if you cut your hand, you don't need to do anything. The hand will heal by itself. So similarly, our mind will heal by itself if you don't do anything. But unfortunately, when we have loss in our mind, we want to think more to get out from that loss in our mind. So this is something that I want to keep pointing out. Okay, what else I want to say on this? Yeah, so I want to keep emphasizing that trauma for whatever people, whatever trauma you have, it doesn't exist anymore. When you experience it now, is you are using thoughts to recreate a new event based on your memory of the past, and you don't have to. And you are creating it very subtly. You don't even know that. Okay, so this is important because I think I've shared one case. Okay, there's another case on Dr. Bill Pettit, which you can find in the YouTube. I can put it in the Telegram group also. So there's this lady who very high potential, very smart lady, high potential person, as in university, she did very well. Supposed to have a great career, but just, I think before she graduated or just after, just at that time, she was kidnapped, sexually abused, raped and all that. From then on, for the next 10 over years, she just go into severe traumatic depression, cannot function, cannot do anything. Sometimes even have the fear, cannot go out from the house. But when she heard this, that our world is created by thoughts and we have natural innate mental health, she got out from it. Only after, I think, not long, few weeks, started helping people who have this traumatic experience. So it's not that complicated. Once we saw how the mind works, we can immediately jump out of it, no matter how many years of depression or suicidal tendency we have. The key thing is that patient or that person has to be open-minded to accept. And you'll be quite surprised, quite a lot of people are not so open-minded because we can't accept things can be so simple. I shared this one time with the Perth meditation group via Zoom. Most of the people get it, and they can give me a lot of quotes, what I'm saying from Buddha's quote. But there's one lady who very adamant. Bhante, with due respect, I respect you. I'm not trying to argue with you, but it cannot be so simple. I cannot accept it's just so easy to solve things. Okay, Lord, cannot accept. Okay, so we have this difficulty to accept things are simple. Okay, Vincent?
Yeah, but just now you mentioned about this counseling for a couple where they bring up their
this is
marital
the old days, yeah.
Oh.
Then in the old days, how they solve couples' problems is ask them to to release whatever grievances they have towards each other.
But you were saying that will make the situation worse. Is that correct?
Yeah, it didn't really help. But
Why?
that's how they were taught to do. It doesn't help if you tell your wife that I'm angry with you because you did this, and this, it will get more quarrel.
Okay. Then the problem the source of the problem will still be submerged or hidden if you don't bring it out to the open. Correct?
There's no source of the problem. You can bring it out in a calm way. Okay, in a sense that not in a confrontational way. When the time
Okay.
is not, when you're not angry, when you're calm, and to me is you don't have to source all that. If you're always in the, if you understand this too, that I'm always naturally happy and I don't need to get happiness from other people. And number two, whatever I experience is nothing to do with my wife or husband, is to do with my thoughts. You won't quarrel already.
Okay. Back to the basic.
Thanks. Yeah, back to the basic. Okay, Padma. Sorry, please unmute. Yeah, go ahead.
Yes. Good evening, Bhante.
Yeah.
I would like to ask about this dementia patients. Dementia patients, I think, is also related to depression and anxiety. But the doctors are
Dementia
saying
yeah, go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
sorry, the doctors, they did the scan and they were saying about the shrinkage of the brain. It
Okay,
means
your question.
dementia. Well, my question is that dementia is related to the shrinkage of the brain. So if the body is affecting the mind, how are we going to explain saying that that thoughts are the delusion or this?
Okay. The body affects the mind affects the body at the same time. You're only taking it one way. Okay. So dementia, whatever mental disease, doesn't happen overnight. Okay. Most probably, to me, I'm just looking at one viewpoint. I'm not saying my opinion is ultimate reality. Okay. This is just one viewpoint. To me, a lot of dementia patients, something happened in their life and they couldn't accept it. They take it very seriously and very real, and they can't face it. Since they can't face it, slowly they try to live in another delusion, or they create another world. So they can't really function in this world because they want to forget this world. I give you an example, then you will know. So Dr. Bill Pettit says he got a sister who the two adult, maybe the kids when they're adult, crashed in an accident, died, and she can never accept this. She had a big depression and all that. After that, went into dementia. And when she was in dementia, she was much happier, because when he visited the sister, and the sister would say, oh, my two kids are doing very well now. They have no problem. I just saw them yesterday. They create their own reality because they cannot accept the actual reality. So it's actually because we believe our thoughts are real. We believe that my children, because without my children, I can't survive anymore. They create a lot of stories on that. I'm not saying that the dying is not real. I'm saying that the dying of the children won't affect us if we don't create a lot of stories about the dying of our children.
Now, just now you were saying about schizophrenia, the bipolar, all those.
Schizo, also because they cannot face the reality. Like, they think the current reality is real, but actually our reality is made of thoughts. So they take it too seriously and they cannot accept it. Then they go to create their own world. Schizos create another world.
So if it can be reversed, it means dementia can be cured, can be reversed as well, isn't it?
Can be, but the problem is that if the person don't want to accept the fact that my two kids died in an accident, you reverse them, you make them suffer more.
But
they
then the brain that shrink, let's say for 90%, if the brain has
if they shrink too much, then you can't, of course.
But
because what happens is the mind affects the brain, so it starts shrinking, and when it shrinks, it affects the mind back. So it's like this. It's a vicious circle. Of course, when you reach a certain turning point when the mind is sorry, not mind, the brain is totally spoiled, then maybe difficult to reverse it, lor.
So it means when a person they think too much also, and then until the brain shrink, is it?
Yeah, thinking too much. Not the brains, in the sense that the detail I won't be able, because I'm not into this what do you
Yeah.
call this area, but I'm just saying that when you think too much, the mental health is no good. So that will affect, of course, the brain. So a lot of our problems, actually,
So
all our
physically,
problems are thinking too much. And why we think too much is because
yeah.
we believe our thoughts are real. So it's quite
So when
simple.
if let's say the
Yeah, go ahead.
yeah. So if the shrinkage is let's say 50%, if it's not that serious, it can still maybe able to save it lah.
To me, able lah. There's
Right.
always a possibility, but depends on the patient want to accept or not. They might be happier, might
But
not
then
be easy for the people
ah,
taking care, but they might be happier being dementia. Because I got a friend who says that she got this auntie who like always think a lot, worry a lot, like really unhappy. But after she has dementia, she was a very happy person. But she don't know what's going on lah. She's always very happy, like, oh, my
they live in their
kids are
own
doing
world
well.
lah.
They live their own world lah, because they cannot face the the world that they were in before. So
And we can't reason out with them. We can't explain or talk to them
how to explain and talk to them,
at this
because
stage.
they are living in
Yeah.
another world already.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, Bhante.
Okay, thanks. Okay, let me see another questions. Okay, could it be the traumatic thought is stored in the subconscious instead of body? Okay, I mentioned that already. Anytime you think about stored, you think it's a solid thing. This is what I'm trying to break. Sometimes I need to look for a solution for a problem, so I will worry and think about it for a long time. Can be destructive, but am I able to find an acceptable solution through though just sharing? No, to me is if you keep thinking and thinking and thinking, that might not be the best way to solve a problem. Sometimes it's to take a break, and then you might be able to solve the problem. And I give you this example. This is a real life example. I don't know whether it's not George Pate. It's maybe George Pransky. It's another person who teach what I share with you. There's this company who have a contract with NASA to do some engineering thing. And the NASA wanted to basically cut off their contract. So give them a new assignment, which engineering design, which actually normally takes 2 years to complete, ask them to complete in 1 year. Basically ask them to do the impossible thing. So all the engineers work hard and they scratch their brain, work many hours, couldn't really find a solution. And the head finally tell them, you all go home. We give up. I'll tell NASA that we can't do it and we will lose the contract, but it's on my responsibility. So they all went back home. But the next day, when this head went into the office, he was shocked because the engineer's cars are all already there. So he went in and he told the first engineer that he saw, I thought I asked you all to go home, forget about the project. And the engineer says, actually, to confess, when you say, the project is off, we were so happy. For the first time, we can go home, have a good meal with our family, with my wife and kids and all that, have a total good sleep. But halfway through my sleep, suddenly I found a solution to the problem. So I came in. But when I came in, I saw it happens to the rest of the engineers also. And they managed to solve that contract half the time. So sometimes it's not by thinking and thinking and thinking, it's by just letting the mind relax and connect with the internet. I always say that when your mind is relaxed, you are connected to the entire internet. Through quantum entanglement, you will get the solution. So this company, after that, is a real case. After that, every time anyone cannot solve any problem, the answer is, have you tried giving up yet? So I'm not asking you when give up as in totally give up, but in this case, it works for them. Okay, someone says, Selina, Bhante, I just remember that I was told there are 2 ways to solve karma. hypnotherapy to know the cause of the trauma. I'm not sure if the explanation on how to release it. Yeah, this is one. I'm not saying all these methods don't work. I'm saying that to me only, the better way is not to treat, a lot of these methods treat the trauma as a thing that need to be solved. For me is, if you don't pay attention to your current thoughts, which recreate the trauma, then you have no problem already. This much easier solution. So hypnotherapy to bring you back to the past, to release that whatever that's stuck in you, the trauma, I'm not saying it doesn't work. It works in many cases, but you need to get a hypnotherapist. You need to trust someone. I won't trust someone to hypnotherapy me. Maybe he might ask me to do something stupid and so on. So you need to do too many things, too complicated. Number two, meditate to calm the mind, to see and realize our own experience that caused the trauma. Then when we realize it somehow can go away like that, we accept it. Which one is correct? There's no correct or wrong. If whatever help you, I don't mind, you can do it. But I'm trying to share with you one of the easiest way to do it. Simplest way. Which one is correct? My understanding of the explanation is that when subconscious thought pops up in a similar situation, we just see it as a thought, correct, and don't need to believe it. Is that correct? Yes. And can the subconscious thought, every thought that arises will go away. So there's no, can the subconscious thought go away? Because every thought that arises will go away, will cease. There's no thought that remain. New thought will arise, but it will go away. If you don't pay attention to this chain of thought, it cannot continue anymore. So you need to make effort to maintain this continuous chain of thought. Okay, any other questions? Interesting. Today, I didn't go through many points, surprisingly. Okay, any other questions? We just stop at this, Dr. Bill Bhante. Any questions that we have? Any other questions sharing? Okay, if not, I just want to share one story. Okay, this is quite, you might have heard of this story a lot, but there's a new book which one day I will get this new book called Buddhism Plain and Simple by Steve Hogan. I haven't find this book, but someone read this book, an American coach read this book out. I think Steve Hagen. I'll try to find the book one day, but I like the what is in the book. So the book was would try to explain Buddhism in a simple way. So he started by telling this story of this incident. It's a real historical story of a Brahmin called Dona meeting the Buddha. So this Brahmin asked the Buddha, when he saw Buddha very radiant, he asked the Buddha, "Are you a god?" And Buddha said, "No, no, no, I'm not a god." Then he asked, "Are you a celestial being?" And the Buddha said, "No, no, I'm not a celestial being." And he said, "Are you a spirit?" He said, "No, no, I'm not a spirit." Then he said, "Are you a human being?" "No, no, I'm not a human being." Then the person asked, "Then what are you?" The Buddha said, "I am Buddha, the awakened one." So actually the whole aim of the Buddha's teaching is to awaken. Enlighten, awaken is better. Awaken is the better word compared to enlighten, is because it's to awaken to the truth. Awaken to how the mind works. Awaken to how the world works. Awaken to what? Awaken to the fact that we are naturally mentally healthy. Awaken to the fact that the world we live in is a reflection of our thoughts. It's created by our thoughts. When you awaken to how the system, how the world really works, all our problems will be solved. All our suffering is solved. All our problems come from, actually, we personalize our experience. I, me, mine only. If you don't personalize your experience, if you don't take all your experience as real, if you see all your experience as just stories created by thoughts, no problem at all. So try to remember that Buddha is the awakened one, and that's our aim, to awaken from all our delusion of how the system works or how the world works. And that's how we get trapped. Any
Bhante, I just
yeah.
want to ask you, just now you say
Okay.
we personalize our what?
Thoughts. personalize all our thinking. Personalize all our thinking means our experience now, because our experience come from our thinking.
Oh, thinking and experience. Okay. Thank you, Bhante.
Okay. Any other questions or sharing that we have? Last questions or sharing? So it's quite simple in life. If we keep reminding ourselves that we already have the love, the happiness we seek for, we don't have to look for outside. We can actually give to other people because we already have this love, happiness inside us. And number two is our whole world is created by thoughts that will solve a lot of problems. In fact, all problems. In fact, all mental health only comes to one problem only. We believe our thoughts as real. Okay, if no questions, we will share merits. Okay, we will share merits with all the devas, Dhamma protectors, guidance deities, family members, relative, friends, especially departed family member, relative, friends, and chasters. Make aspiration always with the wise, avoid the foolish, be free from great hatred delusion. And then again, share merits with all beings, wishing each and every single being set equal share merits. Etawata chamehi sampadang punya sampadang sabe deva numodantu sabba sampati siddhya. Etawata chamehi sampadang punya sampadang sabe buddha numodantu sabba sampati siddhya. Etawata chamehi sampadang punya sampadang sabe sata numodantu sabba sampati siddhya. Idame nyatinang hotu sukita hontu nyatayo. Idame nyatinang hotu sukita hontu nyatayo. Idame nyatinang hotu sukita hontu nyatayo. Idame punyang asawa kaya wahang hotu. Idame punyang nibbana sa pacayo hotu. Mama punya bagang sabasathanang pajema. Te sabe me samam punya bagang labantu. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Suki hotu. We'll see you next week. Please continue to explore Dhamma in your daily drama. Try to see Dhamma in your daily
Thank you,
experience.
Bhante.
Sadhu, take care.
Yes, sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.